I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mel.
Girl, let me tell you, I only had maybe a little less than half of that drink.
When you're drinking, you just gotta drink more.
I am a strongly worded email.
Actually, that feels in line, though.
That is not
No, listen. And every now and again, when somebody get out of line, you just yell, "Pop the trunk."
I'm the juice to her gin. Did we hit record?
Is it working? Is it on?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gin and Juice podcast. My name is Melissa.
My name is Melanie.
We're real life sisters. We get on this podcast every single month. Tell you exactly what we want to talk about every single month. I'm gonna tell you why I got tripped up. I got my very first on my stuff. Normally you get it or Kev gets it. We want to thank our sponsors.
Yes, we do. We cannot wait to tell you about the sponsors of this podcast, and that is Raycon, Ernin, Alloy, and ZocDoc.
Okay. We start this podcast with the segment that we like to call Long Story Short, where we tell you kind of everything that's happened over the course of the week. I got my very first, let me see if I can actually find the comment last night, and I almost screenshot it. So it says, wait, are you related to I'm Not a Lawyer But? When you said child, you not only sounded like her, but you both immediately became twins in my head. And this is on TikTok. And I've never, Kevin has gotten those comments. I know you have gotten those comments, but I don't think I have ever got one of those comments on one of my own videos.
Yeah.
They're always like when we're in a video together where it's like, oh, you guys were sisters, whatever. So anyway, someone else DM'd me, and for whatever reason, we must both say child the exact same way because I've seen that in my DMs, but it's like you and Mel sound exactly the same when I say child. So that lets me know y'all know that we're sisters. But everyone doesn't realize, or I'm sorry, this is the first time people are seeing that we sound alike, and this is clearly we must both say child the same.
Yeah. That's funny.
Anyway, I will go over my week really quickly because not much happened, and Mel is actually in New York City.
Also from this weekend. You did things, right? We didn't talk about, you went to the last tour stop, I went to New Orleans, and we did Cash Doll.
I'm happy you reminded me of all that because didn't much happen. Okay, so the Back Pew, Life from the Back Pew tour, Kids from the Back Pew tour is over. That is done. Hallelujah. They did Nashville, Montgomery, Alabama, and Memphis over the course of the weekend. I went to Nashville and Memphis, and it was a good time. We had a good time. I'll let Kev tell you guys who came to visit him while we were in. Greg told you, I'm sure. Yeah. So that's Kevin's story to tell. So I'll let Kevin tell how that went. But it was good. It was a good time. I got to see Shari while we were out there. So that was a good time. And yeah, that was really pretty much it. Joe is finished with his junior year of high school.
Done.
So I officially now have a whole entire senior and a sophomore going into college. So that's exciting. And then what was the other thing you said? Oh, Mel had an event that I went to, the Cash Doll thing. Mel can tell you about that. And then that's it for me, right?
Were you going to say something else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Happy birthday to Erica Alexander in the
chat. Happy birthday.
So yeah, it got insane by my own doing. So Thursday, I had gotten invited by Hulu, Reasonable Doubt. They had invited me to a surprise concert that they wouldn't tell us who it was of, but they were saying it was a cast announcement for someone who's going to be in the new season of Reasonable Doubt. That is on Hulu. And if you don't know, I had my very first real brand deal with them maybe last year. And so that's been really cool to kind of continue to build and nurture that relationship. And so when they asked me, I was very excited and wanted to make a way to go. So I had already made previous plans, but we adjusted those plans so that we could go. And they gave me a +1, and Liz was the +1. So we went to that. And there were some other like influencers there, so it was just cool to kind of hang out. And then they of course announced that Cash Doll will be on the new season of Reasonable Doubt, so that's really cool. It's a fun show anyway. And then I left that,
immediately from there.
had my bag in the car, suitcase. So I left that event and went to the airport, flew into New Orleans, got there at 9 a.m. and had a panel by 12. So I showered and got dressed and ended up doing this panel for the American Society of Trial Consultants, which is basically they're jury consultants, right? They're people who, when you have a trial, usually defendants, you sometimes prosecutors, but usually defendants, hire jury consultants to help in selecting or deselecting, as they say. You're really deselecting the jury. You're saying the people you don't want, and so that is the part that a jury consultant plays, is understanding the questions to ask and what answers may mean, and if that is good for your case or bad for your case, and if you should excuse them or strike them or not. So that is it's the American Society of those people. And I got invited because I had a jury consultant on our podcast twice, actually. His name is Richard Gabriel, and he consulted on Casey Anthony. He consulted on Aaron Hernandez. He consulted on ASAP Rocky. He consulted on a ton of stuff. I mean, high profile trials, he's usually a person called. So he had come on the podcast a couple times, and I guess they were having this conversation for their conference. It's the American Society of Trial Consultants Conference. And so they were having this conversation about doing this panel about new media. They're calling it new media, people covering these trials. And so he threw my name out there, which was really, really dope for him to even consider me and think about me. And so it worked out. And so I went to that and had an amazing time. It was really, really cool. I think the panel went really, really well. I got a ton of good positive feedback from people who were there. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun and really cool. I was very happy and proud of that. Then I came home.
Well, I want to say really quickly, because I think this is worth mentioning, especially if it becomes a thing, because I actually think that it will be, and that I really do think that your thought process will be like pioneering this idea of how jury selections are done, which is, do you consume trial content? Do you consume crime? It's not crime. There's a word that I'm thinking of. Anyway, crime content is all I can think of right now. And if you do, like, what, even like drilling down to that, what type of trial content do you consume? And you can even be like, have you heard of Adnan Syed? What do you think about that? Like, even that kind of helps you formulate like where you stand with these things. And I think that as these actual jury consultants, as they're thinking about how to best advise their clients, which would be the ASAP Rockies, the, Aaron Hernandez, whatever, these bigger people. But as they're advising, as they are thinking about how to advise their clients, these are things that I think they will consider. And you would have been the one to like drop that into the script, because the other thing is, how old are these people?
Well, it was a range, but it was a lot of older white people. There were not a ton of Black people in there at all.
And that's the thing, like, there is a old school way of doing things. And again, if you guys are considered new media, that comes with like a new thought process. You have to be thinking about things differently. And if you're not, you'll get left behind, because you're not thinking about how are people consuming this information differently than they once were. And I think you'll help them think about that moving forward. And so true crime, that's exactly what I was thinking for. Thank you, Crystal. What I'm trying to say is, I think it is worth like owning that might be something that you have dropped into like this world. You deposited into this world for something for these people to begin to think about.
Yeah. And I hope that is one of the points that I was bringing up, because a lot of people are consuming, whether it's a podcast and it is true crime podcast of cold cases, or the thing I say is that people, instead of waiting for a podcast to come out in 20 years to tell you about a case that happened 20 years ago, people are just trial watching right now. You don't have to wait. You can watch it happen in real time. And people are, there's a lot of conversation about, or was a lot of conversation about the CSI effect, which is like a lot of jurors, because they were consumed TV shows about this kind of stuff, they would come into a jury expecting for DNA evidence, expecting for fingerprints, expecting for show me what I saw on the TV, and relying on that so heavily. And so the same way that they are affected by TV shows of true crime, they are also, I think, being affected by trial watching, right? They are also being affected. And so now they are, I think that this age and generation of people watching true crimes, trial watching specifically, I tend to believe that they'll probably be harder on prosecutors. I do. I believe that we are now saying, guilty or not, you have to prove it. The burden is on you, and people are starting to understand that the burden is on the prosecutors to prove it. And so whether that's good or bad, I think that is the case. And so that is something to consider, I think, especially for a defendant. It's like, especially if you got a weak case, let's really think about who we putting on, because you can go home today.
Yeah.
So
the other thing I think is interesting in that, even in your video, something that you always try to make note of, and I don't think that the average person would know this unless they watch you, but like you start putting the pieces together, is if you're saying, okay, you guys, remember what they want, what they're trying to prove is XYZ. And so the line of questioning is to prove XYZ. If the questioning and the answers to those questions, you don't spit out XYZ, I got it. And they're not doing their job. Sometimes you can get caught up in just what they're presenting to you, that you're like, yes, I understand what you're telling me. Therefore, good job. I understand. Yeah, that means they communicate well. Did they prove to you what they said they were going to prove? And sometimes those two, there's a miss there.
Absolutely.
And if you're able to be like, no, I understand what my job is. I understand what my job is. You have told me this is what you're going to prove. Points 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you able to do that? And then being able to sit in a jury and say or explain to the other jurors, like, no, you guys, they said A. This is the question that would prove that wasn't proven. This disproves that. This is okay. Then they said B. This didn't prove that. Then you're now an educated juror, which again would go to, are you a person I want in the jury box?
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And I think that, it's just such a good point for even the Diddy case, because a lot of people are asking those questions, and it is easy to get caught up in, especially something like this, the like salaciousness, it's easy to get caught up in that stuff. And that's also why jury instructions, I wish I could be in the courtroom for this case for the jury instructions, because it's literally, here are the instructions that you have to actually, I'm telling you what to do when you get to the room, and so that's how you actually decide a verdict. So well, thank you very much. But I am, it was very cool to go. I was very appreciative of the offer and to be able to have the conversation, and was really happy that I got a ton of feedback about that.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say before you move on, because I think this is important. The reason why, and I'm gonna just be your big sister right now, and this is why I think it's actually important to say this out loud, and maybe you're uncomfortable to do it, but it's important to do that, because one thing that I have learned about the internet is if you don't claim the credit for yourself, someone else will.
Sure.
And they will take this good idea or these good instructions or whatever, and they will come out with a bigger mouth and a louder platform and say it, and everybody will be crediting them. And you be like, now I know I'm the first person to have said that. I just know I have said this first, and I will never, ever get the credit for it. And so you have to be like vocal about saying, I am spearheading this thought process. I think that it is important that people consider this. I think that the average person, the average, US citizen is smarter now because we're trial watching, because we're consuming crime content, because we have content creators like Melanie and whoever else that you guys are consuming that are teaching me how to be a better juror. And had it not been for, I would not know, because a white man will take your credit.
Hello. Well, and there are
someone said write a book. A white man will write the book.
Hilarious. Well, there are plenty of them doing it
and write the book. Okay. And if you're not, if we're shy about saying no, I think this is important and this is something that I'm like coining and deciding and saying aloud, these white men, they don't have that shyness. They don't have it.
They don't have audacity.
They don't have
it. Hilarious. But the thing I will say, and then I'm going to do this ad, is what I actually hope. I take all that. That's amazing, and appreciate your very kind words. But what someone said at the conference this weekend was, it was one of the trial consultants, and they said the juries are usually white old people. And I was like, I want you to know that there are people that are not white and not old who, as a result of true crime content and trial watching, are now interested and invested in becoming a juror on a trial. We now want it. And that is the one thing I will say. I hope, if nothing else, that my content does inspire people to want to become jurors, because I think the thing that really hit me, especially when you go to when you watch a trial, some of them are insane and shenanigans, but at the end of the day, these are real consequences for people's lives. And when you understand that when you're watching one and something strikes you a certain way, or you think about it another way or whatever, your voice is the voice that's needed in that room, or whatever side you land on. If there are not people who have life experiences similar to yours, your voice is not going to be in that room. And so that's the thing. I do hope that it makes people, that we change the narrative about jury duty, because they need to pay more.
Listen to me. That's the other thing. You want us to sit up and be gone for how much? And you want to give me a bologna sandwich and $10?
They need to pay.
This economy, I gotta go to work because rent is due. It's the second.
All of those things. However, if you have the ability and the resources to be a juror, I suggest and recommend that you do. I have never been one, and I wish, and I'm probably never going to be called as one now, but I wish I could be, but I wish I was able to do that, because not only is your quote unquote civic duty, but you really have the ability to impact, right, a verdict in someone's life, whatever way it goes. But like, you have that ability, and your life experience and perspective on a case could be a deciding factor. You could get somebody on your side or not. Like, it just really matters. And for a long time, it's been old white people, and that's just what it's been. And other voices have not been represented in those rooms. And it's important. So anyway, she said I was on a murder trial when I was 19. What a time. Anyway, that said, I want to thank one of our sponsors, and that is Raycon, which is a great time to talk about them, because as we're talking about true crime and podcasts and listening to things and listening to court cases and all of that, many times you may be doing other things and you want to put some headphones in and kind of do your thing, but also kind of tap in. And Raycon can be a great resource for that, especially in the summertime. It's warm. You want to be enjoying the sun, the rays, doing all the things, but also maybe you're having a cookout or whatever you're doing. You may want to have some headphones in while you're being multitasking a bit, and Raycon can just be really, really helpful for that. They are the perfect summer accessory, whether you're going hard at the gym, enjoying the sun and taking those work calls outside, or jamming out while barbecuing to your favorite tunes. Enjoy premium audio that goes where you go. Their latest model is better than ever with a 32-hour battery life, okay, and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with 2 devices at once. I just want to reiterate that 32-hour battery life because there is nothing worse than being ready, right, to listen to some music, especially if you go to the gym and you ready and then everything your headphones are dead. There is nothing worse. But with a 32-hour battery life, that is going to save you, okay? That's going to save you every time. The other thing I need to talk about is they have noise cancellation. And I just want to express that discovering noise cancellation, have headphones not always had noise cancellation? Because when I figured out noise cancellation, I said, oh, well, this makes a massive difference. And Raycon has noise cancellation, and it may I can't even express how much of a difference that it makes. Like the difference is insane. So Raycon starts at just half the price of other premium audio brands. The earbuds come in a spectrum of vibrant colors to match your summer vibe. I have purple because I think those are cute. And so I cannot recommend them more for, again, all the things that I recommend that I use them for, whether it's just because it's summer and you want to be out being cute, or you take your kids to the park and you need headphones in for that, whether you're going to the gym, whether you're listening to a podcast, whatever it is. Those are some of the reasons I do, but yes. So again, I am very excited to tell you about Raycon because I love my Raycon earbuds. Whether I'm going to the gym, whether I'm at the park with my kids and listening to a podcast or listening to a trial, whether I am at the house cooking and have some slow jams and want to kind of vibe out to that, whatever the reason or use I have for them, they have been amazing. Again, especially because these noise cancellations, they make such a difference, and they can make a difference for you as well. And if you're loving your Raycons, they offer a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy, no questions asked. We also love that. So go to buyraycon.com/GJ.
GJ.
To get 15% off Raycon's best-selling everyday earbuds. Right now, Raycon is offering 15% off their best-selling everyday earbuds only at buyraycon.com/GJ. buyraycon.com/GJ.
Boom.
Oh, and then I need to talk Diddy really quick.
Yeah.
So I got home Saturday from New Orleans for the conference and then left Sunday. Greg came in Sunday from the last tour stop. And then he and I flew into New York this morning, 5 a.m. Okay, we left last night, took red eye. And when I got here, I had every intention. We got here 5:30, and I had been hearing the timing to get to the courthouse is like 5-6 o'clock. And we got a hotel very close because I ain't want no problems. So I was like, since we're here, before I like shower and get into bed and go to sleep, let's just go walk over there so I have a lay of the land. We walk over there and immediately see the line. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just kind of scoping it out. I start to see a couple people that I know. So I end up speaking to them, and they're like, get in line. What are you, come inside? And I'm like, we literally have our airport clothes on. Like, I have airport on me. They're like, get in line. I have sweats at a federal courthouse. They're like, get in line. You need to see this testimony. So all of that to say, we ended up going. Had we got in line when we first got there, I could have gone inside the courtroom because the line was still forming, but we waited and talked and lollygagged. And so by the time I get in line, we end up going to the overflow, which I'm fine with because I look a mess. When I tell you, so overflow is like church overflow room. Okay. It's a monitor in there and it's much more lax. Everybody's talking. It's fine. I'm looking at the monitor and someone says, there goes Diddy. And I'm looking on the monitor like, where is Diddy? Because I don't see him. Mm-hmm. They're like, him with the white.
Oh, it's full white.
He looks like your grandfather.
Yeah, but this is my question, Mel. Do you think it's for real? Or do you think it's like,
but it looks like, I said it was on a monitor. I didn't get the up close. He looks like his age. How old is he?
55.
Okay. He looks like he's 55. He looks like he's 8 years from 60. Yes.
I have been trying to figure out.
What do you think? He's dyeing it white?
I think he's dyeing it whiter.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised if any of these, like, you don't obviously don't look like Diddy, with the black hair. You need to look more like your 55-year-old self. That's why I be calling everybody Pop Pop, because everybody be trying to be Pop Pop, when they go in the courtroom and stuff. But as white as it is, well, I don't know, because I've also only seen the drawings.
Yeah.
But every time I look at it, it looked like before he walked in there, someone said, shh.
I think over time it's gotten whiter though. I think since he's been in jail, I think since he's been locked up, you've seen the progression of like your hair is growing white, the way it's coming out of your head.
That's crazy.
I could not believe it was him on the monitor. I kept staring because I was like, it just does not look like him. They're like, that's him, Mel. So I am very excited to go back tomorrow early
and
I'm getting in the courtroom tomorrow. I'm absolutely getting into the courtroom tomorrow because I need to like see this firsthand.
Well, wait, let me just say this. I know he's been dyeing it black.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I also understand that he's 55, therefore he has gray. Yes. I'm just trying to figure out if they're trying to make it look grayer.
Yeah. Which is a fair point. It very much could be the case.
They be having all them, the people on your team, they know what to do to give you the optics.
He has like 8 or 9 attorneys. And we're not talking about like, here's the lead attorney and then it's like 6 assistants. He has powerhouse attorneys filling every effing spot. Everyone. He's paying millions and millions and millions of dollars to powerhouse attorneys. Brian Steele, Nicole Westmoreland, both came from YSL. But he also has Agna Filo, who is a massive. He has Shapiro, a woman, a massive. He has Gregarious, whose father is like an insane history attorney, whatever. Like, He has an insane team. So I wouldn't be surprised if a part of somebody, it said, hey, make him look his 8. I wouldn't be surprised. These attorneys, what a time. They are in there. They are in there. So the witness today is a woman who is going by the name Mia because she doesn't want her name exposed. And the judge has allowed that to be the case. So they're calling her Mia. It was supposed to be protected. This woman name, picture, video has been all over the internet. Everybody has figured out who this Poe woman is. And then today they end up playing a video in court that was apparently supposed to be redacted. It wasn't redacted. So we all saw it. And then a reporter who is a legit reporter, he ends up reposting the video on Twitter. So her identity is completely known. And then at the end of court, they were like, just FYI, judge, like, just want to put on the record that this was released and it wasn't supposed to be. They're like, it was supposed to be redacted, but it wasn't.
There are a couple things that I feel like are very important in court, right? One of which would be if this supposed to be redacted, who's in charge to make sure of that?
I don't know.
You have one job.
Yes. And they didn't put this whole what's the point? Why are we calling her Mia if we just go put her whole
literally
that her entire testimony? What's so crazy is based on her testimony, whether you saw the video or not, you could figure out who she is because she's like, I was his assistant. Okay, that's vague enough. Like who knows who his assistants were? I was the director of development at Revolt. Okay, you're narrowing it down, honey. And then she's like, we sold a show to ABC based off of my life as his assistant. Okay, I can Google this, honey. And it got a lot of press. And it was the most press I had ever gotten in my life. You can Google right now, and her face gonna come up. Like, honey. So,
and this is federal. Like, how does this? It doesn't seem like these are things that we should be missing.
No. So, and it's also really funny because she used like, if I didn't know who she was now, I wouldn't know because she's just like this white woman on the stand. But It's just bizarre. It's just a very, very bizarre thing. So anyway, she was on the stand today, which I'm happy I was able to catch her. It's her cross examination. So Brian Steele, who again was Young Thug's attorney, his lead attorney, he did the cross examination. The thing about Brian Steele is during YSL,
Still having a good couple years, ain't he?
huh?
I said Brian's still having a good couple years, ain't he?
Girl, and he didn't that man. Whew, I don't even want to see the charge. If I ever get in trouble, hire him. I don't care what the price tag is. Hire that man. Sell Micaiah
Because we can't afford to. But
because
we'll try. I'm gonna reach out to him.
He's like known to be this really nice, considerate attorney. Like the way he speaks to people before he speaks in the morning is like, good morning, your honor. Good morning to the attorneys. Good morning to the defendant. How is everyone? I hope everyone is well. I am here, your honorable court, to tell you, like is very pleasant. He is very thoughtful in his questions. It's just really nice. In this trial, I don't know what happened to the YSL. Still, he is an ass. All of that is out. There was this morning when I got in there was no like good morning to the witness, the woman on the stand. So in 2011, you said he raped you, but you also posted on Instagram that you loved him. So why would you do that? Are you lying on the stand right now? Is what you're telling us not the truth? I said, oh my gosh. So then she tells this story of a time that she had already left the job with Diddy and was like 2 or 3 years actually it was like a year. She's like a year removed from working at the company. She had been texting Diddy like a lot and he wasn't responding. It was just like a bunch of blue messages. And one of the messages she says, I was thinking about you. You know, I'm always here for you. Love you so much. Love you, love you, love you. Like it's a lot of love yous. And then she says, I had a dream last night that I was stuck on an elevator with R. Kelly and I screamed out your name and you saved me. So thanks for being my savior. It was very bizarre. And so Brian Steele is like, are you telling us that the man who traumatized and raped and abused you for years, a year after he's essentially severed ties, you're saying thanks for being my savior? And she's like, yeah. I said, he used to be so much nicer.
But girl, what is your dream that Puff saved you from R. Kelly? That's a nightmare.
Oh my gosh. Like, what? You need to talk to Jesus about that. Why?
Because what?
It was very, very, this is the reason I wanted to come to, is what I've said, is that reading an article and reading tweets, I am so grateful that people are able to report on this trial because it's not televised, it's federal, so there's no cameras. However, don't ever take for granted being inside, right? Like when you are able to anything in life, when you experience it firsthand, it is very different. The nuances, the way people are acting and behaving, some stuff just can't be communicated via words and you have to see it with your own eyes. And being in that courtroom is that for me. I said, oh, this is interesting. So anyway, I'm very excited to be able to.
What are the dynamic? Is it tense in there? Is it like, what does it feel like, the energy in the room?
I was in the overflow, but what was interesting to me, I use interesting a lot as a cover word. What was interesting to me is that he is very upbeat. This man was like visibly Diddy speaking to everyone, hugging, happy. Hey, like you're going to a park on a Saturday. I mean, just lively. I said, does he know he's on trial?
I know, but then I'm like, we use the word narcissist so much, but I'm like, is that like a narcissist? Like, or is it a tactic? Like, don't look worried. You're innocent. Come in here and just
maybe
Diddy bop.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I was very surprised.
Because I would look guilty. I would be crying so much. Like I would be so overwhelmed with emotion that this is my life right now that I don't know that I could function.
Yes.
to
Yes.
say hello. I don't want to say hello. My life is over right now.
Absolutely. Why are you talking to me? Yeah. Also, I got to see some of the jurors,
Oh,
which is, of course, it's 8 men, 4 women. Um, so that's very interesting. I can't wait to be in the actual courtroom because a lot of people have reported about jurors' reactions. The thing I've said, and will continue to say, I don't really like to report on jurors' reactions because you don't know what they're actually thinking. Like you don't know. And so a lot of people say, and so unless they are outward, I mean, laughing is a clear thing you can report on. But if somebody's taking a note, you don't know why. You don't know what they're saying. You know what
sure.
I'm saying? Like you don't know. Or if they're looking, sometimes I do black and white on my videos and people misread what I'm actually reacting to or why I'm reacting a certain way.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
happens all the time. And so that's why I'm like, you can't bet on a face
That's true.
somebody is making. You don't know if it's the reason they're making the face. So
That's
I'm
true.
always very hesitant to do that. I know a lot of people have been doing that. I'm very curious to go into the courtroom tomorrow and see it for myself and see if I actually feel like I can like accurately understand reactions and how something is leaning or not.
Yeah.
Also, we're not done. There could be a witness that changes everything. Like you don't know. So I'm always very hesitant to like actually do that. I think it's not the smartest thing, but like whatever, people do it and a lot of people want it too because you just want to know, but it's all you don't know. So I'm excited to see that. I will say also the woman on the stand, Mia, today was just very if I describe somebody as like meek and shy and like very like, please, I'm so scared to be here, that is what she gave.
Mousy.
Huh?
Mousy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She walked in with her head down and did not lift it up
Wow.
at all. I was going to say until she left. I wouldn't even say until she left. She did not lift her head up. And it
Wow.
was it threw me off at first because I'm
Like
like,
shame? Like she's carrying shame or
I couldn't tell if it was shame or if it was fear. Like
oh,
I'm in the same room as my abuser and I'm
oh,
terrified that what I'm going to say is still going to get me in trouble.
oh, oh. How
Um,
long did she work for Diddy?
2008 or 9 until 17,
So like 10 years, 8 to 10 years?
something like that.
Oh
So
no, that's wrong. Wait, 8 or 9 to yeah, probably like 8 years. Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the numbers, but it was very it was interesting to the point. The last thing the prosecutor said when she did redirect, she got up and did redirect after cross, and she said, basically like, was this so traumatizing that you can't even lift your head up? And she was like,
Oh
yes.
wow. Oh, like someone articulated this.
Yeah, she said, have you ever been able to talk about what Diddy did to you without looking down? And she said no, because it's the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah. But and I mean, that's like the last thing she said before she got off the stand. Up until that point, you're just like, this woman will not look up. Like it's not even like something you miss. You're just like, this woman does not look up at all.
Wow.
So it was very, very just a time. So
Wow.
anyway, yeah, they are so I'll be here all week. We're here all week. And so I'm excited is not the best word, but hear me when I say I'm excited to be here, witness it myself, be able to do some live reporting, do a couple lives on YouTube, talk about what is happening and see how it goes. That's
All
all.
right. Well, we'll also be seeing how your paycheck goes because life doesn't happen bi-weekly. So why should you wait till payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. You can earn Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays. And none of us are Brian Steele. So some of us need that extra money. Okay. We none of us have had as good of a couple years as Brian still has had. Okay. So whether you have a special night out, I have my birthday and I have my anniversary coming up. And sometimes you just need a couple extra dollars to float you by. And if you make earning a part of your financial routine, you can join over the 4 million customers who say things like, when I think about earning, I think about financial stability and security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in Gin and Juice Podcast under podcast. That's Gin and Juice fully spelled out. It will really help the show. Again, that's Gin and Juice Podcast under podcast. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Cash outs are based on available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect service. See the cash out user agreement for details. Services not available in all states. I also want to tell you about Alloy. This episode of Gin and Juice is brought to you by Alloy Women's Health. Aging can be, let's put it plainly, crappy. Problem sleeping, hot flashes, brain fog, weight gain, and decreased libido can hit us pretty hard. And let me tell you the worst part, actually. Let me just keep you guys abreast on my perimenopause journey. We were out of town this weekend. I'm a person that always comes prepared. Just my whole life, I've always have stuff stashed everywhere in the event my cycle decides to show up unexpectedly. Although my cycle's always been like clockwork, I just believe in coming prepared for the just in case. Before we left out of town, my Flow app said my cycle should not come for 9 days. That means as of today, I should have FOMO days. It started while we was in.
Oh no!
To the point where it shocked me. Kevin, I said, Kevin was like, oh my God, what's wrong? I was like, this has never happened to me before. This has never happened to me before. So, of course, like I said, I was prepared, which is fine because I always have stuff. But I was like genuinely surprised because the last cycle was like 10 days late. And so this was only like a maybe 16 or 17 day cycle. Like I didn't even meet, like normally I'm like an early 20s girl. I didn't even get it. And so, women's health. Did you know menopause in midlife is inevitable, but it is treatable? I just found out that almost half of women went 3 years before seeking relief from menopause or perimenopause symptoms. Why would you do that? Why would we continue to do that to ourselves? That's because 43% of women report that doctors just never even mention menopause hormone therapy as an option for treatment. We don't have to suffer alone, okay? If you're having the hot flashes, the night sweats, the brain fog, the weight gain, the libido, if you just don't feel like yourself, that's the best way to explain it. You just don't feel like you're in control of your body, like you don't know what's going on with your body. Alloy is here. Alloy solutions are available by prescription. So you'll need to complete a short medical questionnaire and patient verification. Design your treatment plan with a physician. You'll work with an expert physician to finalize a personalized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs. Let me just enlarge this really quick. Get your 3-month supply. Once approved, Alloy ships your prescription directly to your door with automatic refills. I cannot recommend Alloy enough. Join the 95% of women who tried Alloy and saw relief in the first 2 weeks. Head to myalloy.com/GJ and tell them about your symptoms, and you'll get a fully customized treatment plan, and you'll get $20 off your first order today. Head to myalloy, myalloy.com/GJ and enter code GJ to get $20 off your first order. Okay. Anything else you want to add, Mama?
No. Have you? Oh no. Can I go ahead? Okay. Have you? I think your answer is no, and I'm really sad about it. Have you watched couples therapy?
No. Oh, is it good, Mel?
Oh man, there's so many things.
Oh, I need to watch it. Maybe I'll try to watch it today. Tell us about it.
There is a particular, I mean, there's many couples we can discuss because a lot of them, I'm so thankful that the people of New York don't mind putting all their business out on TV so that we can enjoy a season of their mess. It is, I am so appreciative that they don't mind because I would never. Get out of my business. There is a couple who um they ended up at one point they stopped the sessions, and then they later came back. They had like one final session after they stopped, and they were like fixed, like all better. And essentially the issue was he had a lot of they live in New York, obviously, and they had moved around a lot before coming to New York on account of him. He like has this issue with like stability and staying put, and like, and so he was chasing this feeling of like staying put. And they moved to, I think they said Vegas and Utah and like all this kind of stuff. But the responsibility of having a house, which is what he thought he wanted, actually maybe they have the house now, so I don't even know. It was very confusing. Regardless, they now live, I guess maybe, anyway, they have a house, and he hates the responsibility of a house. He hates the idea, like, as soon as you get one, now you have to care about the yard and the water and the HVAC, like it's all this stuff. And so he wants to move again, but her position was Montana, her position was kind of like, um the first 10 years was your time, and we moved and we did all these things because you wanted to do them, and I kind of sacrificed she's like a psychotherapist or something. She's like, I kind of sacrificed my life and my career on account of like you wanting to move everywhere, and then we had these kids, and so we agreed that now was my time, and now when I have my time, you're so miserable that we're just supposed to leave. And he just was like, I just feel like you're not identifying with what I'm saying. Like you're not being like sympathetic. You're not understanding. And so she was like, I hear you. That's sad that you feel that way. Right. And so he's like, you just don't understand. And she's like, it doesn't matter how many ways I say it, you're never going to get it. So like, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but it's my time now. And it was the most bizarre argument. I couldn't relate on any level. Like I usually you can, there's a piece of everybody, you're like, hey, I didn't have that feeling. This couple, I was like, I don't know what the hell is happening with y'all. It was so, and he just seemed unhappy. He seemed like it didn't matter what she did, he would never be happy. So eventually they stopped going.
Oh, wow.
And then they randomly come back for this last session, and they're like, we're fixed. And she's like, what happened? He says, because she at end the therapy, she was like, I need you to move out of the house. She's telling him like, get out. So he was like, she had been telling me to get out and I wouldn't get out, and it's because her birthday was coming, and I had managed to keep this secret for like 3 months, that I had been planning this like birthday night for her, where we were gonna like go dancing and like do all these things we hadn't done. And so what they say is this like magical night of freedom for them, where they went dancing and were able to be childlike.
Oh, that's the night that healed them.
She's like, for the first time, we were able to identify with each other on like a kid-like level, and being able to get to his core allowed me to like peel back the layers and understand what happened. And so the way she ended up telling this story thing, where basically wherever he lived before he came to America, she called him he was like Boris the Prince, and he had like these responsibilities. And then when he came to America, he became Boris the King, and he just never was able to be Boris, like Boris the child. And so this is like so miserable for him, because all of these responsibilities that he has had, and he saw freedom in getting with this woman. It was like, oh, my chance at freedom. And now she wants this like stability in this house. And so it's like, here he goes back to being Boris the King again. And so he was like rejecting it because it was like too much responsibility again. Listen, it was so much. I did not care for him. And I'm like, I don't think they're fixed.
No,
Having
they're not.
a night of dancing is not about to fix you forever. Sorry, girl.
How
So
many episodes are out?
all of them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, wait. And then the last one, I just need to say this last couple. There's this other couple who I shout out to them for being together. I also think they probably should not be together. They seem very toxic. Like she had like eating disorders and
Oh,
he
wow.
has like gambling addictions. And I'm like, it just feels like addictive personalities together. Like this seems very bad, but whatever. They're together. And he had been talking about like most of the season. He's talking about, I don't know if I should ruin it. It's a bit of a spoiler. Should I tell you? Because it's like, it's a buildup. Okay, here's what I'll say. He spends most of the season referencing this big secret he has.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, big secret, big secret. And that's why I am the way I am. Like this thing happened to me that like ruined me. And so over time, Lorna or Orna, whatever her name is like, he has this thing that he won't release. He won't tell me what it is. And it's like affecting him so much and blah, blah, blah. He finally tells the secret. And I don't think I could have rolled my eyes hard. I mean, I understand that it was very traumatic and affected him in a very severe way. I'm not discrediting that. I personally was like, baby.
What is it? Wait, I want to know.
It was very okay, good. You guys feel the same about me. I don't know if I should say it. I don't want to ruin it for you because it's very anticlimactic.
It's like a huge build up for nothing, no payoff.
And I feel like you should go on the ride.
Okay, fine.
Maybe you'll feel differently. Maybe other people. I personally was like, oh baby, this is not that big of a deal, honey.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it then.
Please watch it and then come back. Maybe you'll feel differently. Come back and tell me if you feel different. Okay.
They said no, don't tell us. Okay, don't tell us. I won't have you tell us for them. I can still enjoy a journey even if I know where the end is, but I won't, just so everybody else won't get the spoiler.
All right, now I want to tell you about another sponsor of this podcast, and that is ZocDoc. Okay, so when was the last time you needed to go to a doctor, but you pushed it off? You made the excuse that you were too busy, can't find your insurance card. You'd rather use the time to try that new Pilates class or some other class or get a manicure or plan the next girls' night. All the reasons to do something other than the thing that you need to do. We've all pretty much been there before, I'm sure. But because booking a doctor's appointments can just feel so daunting for a number of reasons, scheduling being a major part of that. But thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason to delay. They make it easy to find and book a doctor who is right for you. Okay, anything that's going to make it easy. That's what we need. Why is it that when we need a new doctor, our first instinct is to post in the group chat, anyone know a good PCP or OBGYN? I have definitely done that. I feel like there's like a list of like Black OBGYNs in LA that I probably get sent a million times because I always start with, anybody know a good one? And then I just get sent the same list. And I'm like, you know what? I forgot I had this. And so if you, like me, are totally guilty of doing that, and then you end up finding out that the recommendation is not in network or the office is too far from your house, ZocDoc can be the answer for you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. Appointments made through ZocDoc also happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even book some same-day appointments, which is unheard of these days. And so I use ZocDoc and you should too. It's going to be for sure. I feel like it sells itself. I don't even need to sell it for you because booking an appointment within 48 hours these days is truly unheard of. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/GJ to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/GJ, ZocDoc.com/GJ.
A couple things. Someone said Love Island, it starts tomorrow.
Does it?
Yeah, I just looked. Love Island USA season 7.
Oh, I'm in.
Starts tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. I will be watching. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch every single night, but I will at least watch the premiere. But I really enjoyed the ability to binge this. I mean, it was a lot because it's every single day, but like it's kind of worth the like wait 3 or 4 days and then watch it. Okay, so that's that. The other thing is yesterday we came back from the tour and then we had a fitting for the BET Awards and I was tired. I was spent. I didn't want to do nothing else. And so I sat in this little loft area and finished watching the Secret Lives of Mormons.
Oh yeah.
Girl, listen to me. The first half, I don't even remember what it was that I watched because I wasn't really paying attention. But boy, I tell you, that second half
is good.
Oh, girl.
Oh.
This is some white people's business I can get into. I didn't even finish the first season. That's how much I was done with these. I was kind of done with these Mormon sisters, Mormon sister wives. What are they called? The secret wives.
Secret wives.
Chad, I want to call them sister wives so bad. The secret lives of Mormon wives, whatever. Them, I was done with them. I didn't finish the first season. I watched a little bit of the second season, and then I was done. And I finished watching this season. Listen to me. This little white girl, her name is Demi, which I love that name.
I do too.
I love her name. So pretty. She wants Taylor's spot, and Taylor is the main girl. Okay, she is gunning for her spot.
Wait, is she the one who just came this season? No,
I don't think so actually, because she said she was a fan favorite last season.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that's what added the fuel to her fire. Okay, she thinks she is the cat's meow. Okay, everyone is here to see me. They will wait for the next bus to see me. Okay, hopefully I get that reference. It's one of my favorite movies. Anyway, this woman wants this woman's spot and is making it abundantly clear. The problem is me and Kev doesn't normally watch a lot of reality TV, to be honest, with me. It's not really his jam. He sat up here and watched it with me, and before you knew it, he was all in.
Hilarious.
He said she doesn't have the votes. And I was like, she doesn't. She was trying to get everybody on her side to go against Taylor. And she didn't have the votes because the other ladies basically, this is how I took it. Okay. Y'all have to remember everything goes through my interpretation. All right. They was like, number one, we understand where our butter is bred. That's through Taylor. Everyone from her.
Wait, hold on. Because Taylor is so drama filled, right? She's like, she was the one who's the man they low-key had the cops called, and now she's pregnant, and her mama always be like, you dumb B. That's her. Taylor.
Yes. Okay. She is the main girl. She's the one who created Mom Talk. Everything is surrounding Taylor. Okay. Everything is surrounding Taylor. And
her boyfriend cheated on her. This is okay. I'm just making sure that she's the cat. I mean, she's the lead of the show.
Yes. Taylor is the lead of the show. Okay, where her bread is buttered. Okay. So she was like, first of all, before you even got there, she was like, how about, I don't even remember the girl's name. How about we take her off the show? How about we boot her from the show and we all get more money, specifically me?
She said that?
Yes. And then when they confronted her, she was like, well, it was like personal reasons, because I just felt like, for personal reasons, you should be removed and I should get.
Oh.
So like her whole thing right now is, I'm trying to be top dog. I'm trying to get as much money. I'm trying to be top dog. So then it comes out, once that falls through, Taylor, low key, you're toxic, you're drama filled, you be lying, you're impulsive, you're all of these things, and it's not good for the group. You should go and I should be. Let me assume the throne. Yes. And so when they have this little meeting, it gets real. And the thing about Taylor that I like, right, wrong, or indifferent, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise, she is always who she is. And so she's very impulsive. The woman didn't lie. She is drama filled. She is impulsive. She like all of these things are true, but like, that's why we tune in. That's why we tune in.
Yeah.
Other lady, so she's like, basically, she's there trying to get these people. They have like this confrontation, and they're going back and forth. And she's like, essentially, don't you guys agree? She's drama filled. She's this. She's a liar. She's impulsive. And they're just kind of like, So she gets up, literally, they don't say anything. So she gets up and she's like, if you guys basically aren't going to back me on this and we're not going to kick Taylor out, I feel like I need to take a break from this group if you guys don't mind. And so Taylor says, we don't mind. We don't mind. You can go on out that door over there. Go on. No, that's what I told. I literally was talking to Courtney about it, and Nana said Demi is broke, and I literally told Courtney today. I said Demi strikes me as good. Look, she's broke because her husband's like 14 years older than she is.
Oh, was she? If you going that old, he better have some money.
Yes. I think she don't have no money. I don't think she has anything going for herself, and she's just looking for financial stability so she can leave her husband. But she needs something going for herself.
Yeah.
On the other show, then I forgot this other part that happened on the last episode. Anyway, on the other show, the Little Villa show, I didn't watch it, but apparently on the Little Villa show, she told this man, I tried to watch it. I watched the first episode. I didn't even watch the first episode. I watched half the first episode. I was like, this is stupid. I'm out. But she told the man, I have tried to divorce my husband several times. She even put a number. I want to say she said like 27 times, but regardless, she was like, I've tried to divorce my husband several times. Like, I just don't think she's just here. She's just looking out for herself. She's just here looking out for herself. That's it. That's all. She's just looking out for herself. So anyway, at the Little Villa thing, apparently they thought that Demi had sex with or messed around with Mauricio or some dude. I don't remember his name, but she messed with him. So the black girl, Alana, Leia, whatever, the little black girl, okay, she has a conversation with Mauricio. And she's like, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. Okay, so I want to know what happened between you and Demi. And so, yeah, the black woman's name is Leia. Okay, thank you. So he's explaining, yeah, we did more and I misread and I thought, but apparently she's married, so it was fine. But did you hear about the rumor between me and Jesse? What? What? Because what? Because why are you? I thought we came here to get tea on Demi. Right?
Yes.
I was here for it. Yes, let's get the tea on Demi because everybody hates her. Bring her down. Girl, Ray Charles' mama says, scratch a lie, find a thief.
Hello.
Scratch a lie, find a cheater. Because she scratched this over here, and now he was like, yeah, we had sex several times. That was my mouth. I said, what? What? Who did what? How many times?
I gotta finish it.
It was, my mouth was on the floor. Me and Kev were like, oh, these white people. But it ended so abruptly that I was like, is there like a season 2 part B?
Oh, but like that last time too. I feel like last time, I actually thought that they did it because it was a new show and they were trying to determine if they should like do more. But so it's weird that they would do it again. But I feel like, oh, you said you didn't finish it. I feel like last season it just ended, and I was like,
no, I did finish it. That's how it ended.
Oh no, I'm saying the season before this one.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish that one.
Okay. I feel like it ended abruptly like that as well. Is my point.
Oh, got it. It did. They said another season's coming.
Oh,
I thought someone said September. Yeah, she said in September. Jasmine said another season's coming in September. It was just like they were still sitting on the couch. Layla's mouth was on the floor. My mouth was on the floor. Kev's mouth was on the floor because I didn't expect it to go that way the whole time. Like even when you click back or when I clicked back in, they were still talking about Demi had inappropriate relationships with this dude at the villa. So that was like the whole thing. So then to finally get out, listen, I've heard different stories. We're coming straight to the horse's mouth. What happened? And he was like, yeah. But that's not the real tea. The real tea is.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. That's what I said. They need a reunion. But now I want to get on TikTok. Serve me.
That's hilarious. That's funny. And they're probably going to now.
Yeah, I want to know now. Serve me what's going on TikTok because they're TikTokers.
Yeah, they are.
TikTokers.
That's the whole start of them, right? Is
Yeah.
mom talk.
So somebody has said something. Someone has shadily said, then they did. Let me just tell you this. Let me just tell you this other little part. So Demi can't, apparently she's having fertility issues, right? And so Layla decided with the group together that they were going to play a pregnancy test game. I don't know. All the ladies pee on a stick.
This is not a good idea.
No.
This is not a
The
good idea.
lady burst into tears. So she's bursting into tears because she doesn't believe it's her and it's not her. But it's like really insensitive. Girl,
wild.
Then Macy's, the father of Macy's son died. Yes. Years ago. Like 8 years ago.
I don't
in a car accident.
Oh my Jesus.
She was texting him angrily.
Oh, this is terrible.
It was so much happening.
That's crazy.
4 of 5 episodes that we watched, I was like overwhelmed. It was so much happening. It was so much happening. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yes, it was a lot. Anyway, it was a lot, but I might be in. I'm definitely intrigued for when it comes back. I'm intrigued. I'm not going to watch that villa though. Everybody keeps telling me I need to, but I'm not going to. I tried to watch it because I wanted context for like what was happening in the villa. Like what was Demi doing? What was Mauricio doing? What was I think her name's Jessie. What was Jessie doing? Like I wanted context, but I don't think I care that much. So anyway, it was very good. Kept me captive for a good 3-4 hours before I went to bed.
I'll download it if it's a downloadable. That'll be it'll be a good plane watch.
Yeah. It was good. Kev was all in. I was all in. I was in. All right. Anything else you want to play one before we head up out of here?
It's just a gamble. But sure.
Okay, let's do it.
How can I even do this? Let me find. Any, many, miny.
Oh, then wait. See, Storm just reminded me. She said she loved when Layla sat on the couch, Layla sat on the couch mute after telling Taylor she had her back. So this is what happened. Layla's messy. These girls are messy. So they're on a plane flying wherever they're going. And this is when they've all decided they're anti-Demi. Nobody likes Demi. We don't like Demi. I don't like the way she's treating you. So now we're all team Taylor. Demi or Layla says, this is how the girls talk about you behind my back. This is my group chat with the other girls without you in it.
See.
And just let her read.
See. They doing what they did on Utah. Yes. Let's show each other all the terrible things that we said about each other so that we can bury the hatchet and move on. Bro, no. Don't.
It was so funny. And Taylor is very much like, she's like, yeah, when you called me stupid in a box of rocks. And of course she said it in the text. So she's like, who told you that? And Layla's over there like, don't say me.
This is a mess.
It was hilarious. It's worth the watch. If you have not watched these white people's business, it is worth the watch for sure. I don't really remember what happened on the first half. I'm gonna be really honest with you because I wasn't all the way in. But this second half, I was in.
Melissa, I am the lady who was like, I need your information. How do I pop the trunk? I have so many things I need to say. Okay, so first of all, love you guys. Listen all the time. Look forward to your show. So cute, so cute, so cute. All right, Melissa, this is for you.
Oh, man.
When you start talking about perimenopause, me and you are the same age. You're a few days older than me because your birthday is like what, July 11th or whatever. Mine is July 24th. So you're going through these things and then I'm going through these things. Girl, the itching in the middle of the night. I am popping the trunk on my sheets. I'm popping the trunk on my skin. I'm popping the trunk on it all because why does your body itch? And nothing helps. But I found something that helps. So I want to share with you because I remember you had an itching situation as well. Okay, so take off all your clothes in the middle of the night. This is what I did one day. My dude is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. My body is itching so bad." So I took all my clothes off, got a sheet out the linen closet, and just wrapped myself in this like cold sheet. Girl, the itching stopped. This perimenopause, I'm not ready, because imagine the actual menopause if this is driving.
No.
So apparently, you have to take off all your clothes and wrap yourself in a cold sheet.
I'll do it. I feel like I understand why the cold sheet works though, because it's like kind of soothing.
Cooling, yeah.
Cooling. So I do get it. This perimenopause, this is the thing that I just want to say really quickly. If you are, I'm 41, I'll be 42 in July. If you've gone somewhere or someone tells you that you are too young, tell them to shut up.
Hello?
Tell them to shut up, because it's not you. Actually, there's this gynecologist, or I don't know what she is, probably a gynecologist anyway, that I follow on TikTok. And she was saying that you are actually the best person to know if you're in perimenopause. They can do tests, obviously, for menopause.
Yeah.
But for perimenopause, you are actually the best person, because you know your body best. You know, like, your baseline and what's normal for you, and you also know what isn't. And the thing about it, at least for me, is that things in the beginning, I felt like the changes were small, where it wasn't registering really to me that it was perimenopause. It was just like, oh, that's weird, like, whatever. When my cycle started being cuckoo, that's when all the blocks in the movie came together and one picture, and I was able to identify who the villain is. Like, that's when it clicked for me. But like, if you're normally have been able to go to sleep and now you can't sleep, if you're normally a person that is sharp and now your memory and you can't remember words, like I couldn't remember, what was I just saying? Crime podcast? What I was looking for. See, that's what I'm talking about. Crime content, crime, true crime. True crime.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. But like, you know, like, girl, at one time I know I could like recall these words very easily.
Yeah.
If your cycle's very regular, like if all of these things are normal to you, normal, and then all of a sudden you just kind of feel like, and I think what happens is you're just kind of like, what is wrong with me? Like, I don't understand what is happening. What is wrong with me? If you are of a certain age, it is more, I'm just willing to bet. I mean, eliminate everything else. Go to the doctor and have them eliminate that it's not something else. But once that is done, you probably are just literally entering perimenopause. And there is no firm, it starts at 43 and a half or 55 in 3 months and 17 days. It doesn't work that way. So like, go to the doctor, make sure that they can eliminate, it's not a thyroid issue, it's not a this, it's not a that. Things when I went to the doctor that they're like, let's just eliminate those possibilities. But after that, you're just kind of like, I know I'm not normally this temperamental. Like, I know I'm not normally this depressive. I'm not normally raging. I'm not normally craving sugar all the time. Whatever the thing is for you, hot sweats. I started carrying a fan in my purse.
And you're typically very cold.
Y'all know who I am as a person. I am just cold. I just run cold. So the fact that I'm even like, you know what I should put in my purse all the time? I'll grab my purse right now. It's in there. Like, girl, don't let these folks gaslight you. Don't let these folks gaslight you. More likely than not, that's what it is. And we just have to learn to accept it and like go. I am, because of the surprise period that I just had, I wasn't going to, but now I'm about to ask somebody about the ablation. I was like fine with it not. But now, because being late is one thing. When you're late, I feel like you're more on the alert. I feel like it already should have, it didn't. So like any day now, I'm kind of anticipating to be essentially 9 days. Well, probably it was more like 7 days early.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
What I'm supposed to do with that? I have a life to live.
Exactly.
I can't, and I won't. I can't, and I won't. Why? Kendra, DM me and tell me why I don't want to do this ablation, because I promise you I do. DM me and tell me why I don't, because I promise you I do. I promise I'm done with all it took was one surprise. And I'm like, you know what? I travel too much. I'm on the road too much. I do too much to be caught off guard. I don't have it in me.
And our other sister had a good experience.
I need y'all to tell me, T, I don't want an IUD.
Don't do that.
That's why I don't want an IUD. Anyway, all right. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. That's all. We will be back next week, Tuesday.
No, because you're Tuesday.
You tell me I'm here on Monday, but I thought you had something going on.
Oh, you have something going on Monday. It's BT Awards.
You're right. Because I wanted to be on Sunday so bad.
And I'm like, oh,
Sunday, on a Monday. So we'll be back next week, Tuesday, in your feed after Here's the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
After Here's the Thing. So probably around 11 Pacific. So yeah, I just don't want the IUD because my tubes have been tied forever and I just don't want it. That's just my truth. I'm just done. All right, y'all. Until next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.